been a good day. For a Monday, it's going really well. Got some trucks out, put some logs out. Paulie's moving some crap behind the chipper. He's over here. Old Tom there is gonna move over here and heal the wood on the other side of the slasher so we can have a little more room there. But look at these chips. Now just look at, I mean, looky there, looky there. It's pretty good stuff. So Friday, I got here and Paul had said that the chipper was giving him some fits and the wood wouldn't feed through the last load or two, and he thought it was that stuff behind the chipper that he's pushing out right now was built up too high and it wasn't feeding in the chipper right. So Friday morning he got here, cleaned that all out, and I ran it the first load because I wasn't here on Thursday. And I instantly knew we had problems somewhere because it would not feed wood. And I knew it was something to do with this back yoke back here. So I jumped out and looked it over and instantly found the obvious problem and then another problem. Now I made a whole video of this on Friday. I don't know what happened to it. It was not on the camera when I got home, so that's why I didn't have any videos for this weekend. But what do you do? But I got no wood was going through it at all. And the one thing about this chipper is it takes time to learn the whole machine. After you run it for a while, you can learn it. You can feel in the cab what's working and what's not working. I ran the first load and I said I got big problems back here. I noticed that I couldn't lift this up all the way. It would only go up about that far and stop. It was stuck down. I said, well, that's weird. So I got out after the load. I looked and the first thing I noticed was my feed wheel chain was off right there. That'll slow you down really quick. When you don't have that going, hold you up. So I tried to lift it up and it wouldn't lift up, and I'm like, that's weird. Maybe it's an electrical problem. So I tried it with this switch because there's a switch on both sides. Wouldn't lift up. Went to the other side. That's when I knew I had a problem. So what happened was this. Right there. That ripped right out of the frame, and you see there on the shaft, on the coupling there and the bearing where it's nice and shiny, yeah, the cylinder had fallen. It ripped out right there, fell down in there, and then because I was trying to push up on it, it extended all the way out, shoved way down there in the bottom, and then that whole load was rubbing on my bearing. I was lucky I didn't put a hole in the cylinder wall. So then I stuck it up like this, and I ran the rest of the day. And it actually chipped pretty decent. So what I did was we got a hold of a welder that showed up Saturday, and I was here Saturday morning. Got him started, he got that re-welded. Then I got here this morning, I had to put the cylinder on, fix my hoses back up because we pulled them off. Got it back up, running, and it's running fine. But I thought I'd show you real quick what broke on that. It wasn't horrible bad, but I know a lot of people are going to ask how come Paul didn't notice that that was a problem. And it goes back to just sitting in that chipper seat for thousands of hours before you can learn every intricate detail of this machine and what's going on and why isn't this working, why isn't that working. You can't just jump in there and run this and say that chain falls off from that feed wheel and you notice it like that. It takes a lot of time sitting there to figure out just everything in here and how it works. So it's not a huge deal he didn't notice, and I didn't expect him to notice it because you gotta have a lot of time in that seat. Paul's got I don't know what Paul's got, 40 hours maybe in it, not a whole lot. I've got over 5,000, so it's over 6,000 hours on the machine. It had 300 when we got it, and I got well over 5,000. So you figure out real quick whether that's messing up, or 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 that's messing up. You get my drift. It just takes time sitting in there to figure it out. So that was Friday's dilemma. We got it re-welded up. I got lifted up right now. The reason I got lifted up right now is because I don't have my chain on there yet. When I got here this morning, there was already a truck here. I'm not gonna mess around with that little chain. I just left it up, kept chipping. That flail drum, it's not actually cleaning the bark off the tree. It's just a brush to make sure everything's off it. So I gotta get that chain put on that feed wheel, drop that back down. I don't got trucks right now. I need to work on that back drum back there. Let me show you one of the problems I have. The problem with running this chipper is not really running it. It's the maintenance that it takes to run it. It's, as you can tell, there's so much stuff going on. This thing is just like a maintenance queen. I mean, so much maintenance. It's just how it goes. I just blew this chipper off on Friday, and I already got stuff all over it. Between greasing and blowing all the sawdust, all the dust, all the bark off it, it's an hour to 2 hours every day, whether you're doing knives, chain, cleaning it, greasing it, fixing leaks. I already fixed 2 leaks this morning. Just drips, not really like a blown hose, but just loose fittings, not on my bucket or nothing. So back there on a cylinder, I seen it. There's just a lot of maintenance on there. So whenever you get breaks, it seems like you're always busy doing something. And what I got to work on now is, you see this right here. What I got is, you see how I got all this other stuff here? Because that drum back there doesn't produce hardly any bark coming out of it. But what happens is this one here, a lot of the dust coming from there and here come out of here and blow all over this thing. So it's like I'm constantly getting chunks of rubber and bolting them down somewhere to try to keep that thing from producing bark coming out of there. And because it's a hassle to clean off, that's what it boils down to. So when you come over here, I just blew this off on Friday, and you got that there, all that there is just bark fines from the tree. All this here, I mean, look at it. That's all from 4 loads. That's one thing with the chippers out here in the woods, is fire control. You get worried about that quite a bit, especially in the summer. This stuff gets hot, your hydraulics get hot, your motors run hot, everything gets hot. You don't want a whole lot of dust on this thing. you don't want stuff to get out of control. So that's, and like right here you can see how I got some rubber in there, and up there I got some more. You might not be able to see with the sun, but I just gotta go over that every spring and just redo it all to try to keep all that dust and garbage inside, going out the conveyor rather than coming all over here. So that's just what I'm dealing with today. Boy, she looks good. That's today's project. We'll see what happens the rest of the day. But anyways, quick little video on the breakdown Friday, and cleaning this girl. She needs to be clean. So anywho, I will see everybody later. You good?
No, they're junk.
Uh-oh, we don't have any knives.
Huh?
We don't have any knives.